Hey kids, welcome to today's lesson. And today we're going to be talking about a few different things that may not seem like they go together, but as we'll find out from our Bible passage today, they actually do. Now, I want you guys to think of a rule that you follow. It could be a rule you have at school or a rule you have at home that keeps you safe and keeps others safe. One rule I know that we have at home, my house, I'm pretty sure you guys have it at your houses too, is we don't allow sports inside. Outside, completely fine. But if we're inside and we're trying to kick a soccer ball around or throw a baseball, then we could end up damaging something and breaking things, which isn't good and can cause a lot of harm and damage. So I want you guys to think of some rules that you have that you follow, whether it's again at home, at school, even outside. Now, I want you guys to also think about something that tastes sweet or delicious to you, like maybe it's a candy. Maybe you have a favorite candy. Oh, hi Henry. You heard candy and you want some? I know you like candy, but you've actually been really good this week. You've been following my rules and you've been, taking care of things. And you even cleaned up the mess from last week. Yes, I did thank you for that already. But I'm going to thank you again because I have a little surprise for you. Yeah, I decided to get you your favorite candy. So, Henry, here's your reward for being good and following the rules. So, as you can tell, Henry really likes Skittles. They're, his favorite snack. Or candy, I should say. Now, I understand that Henry is a hippo and Skittles may not be the best thing for him, but he just really likes them. Alright, well, you can go off and enjoy your Skittles, Henry. And I'll get back to the lesson. Sound good? Alright, do you promise to save me at least one Skittle? Alright, try to save me a green one, because those are my favorite Skittles. So yeah, today we'll be talking about rules and their sweetness, which sometimes you don't think of going together. Have you ever thought of a rule or a law as being sweet? Like, it's kind of something weird to think about, and it's, I think, something that we don't think of or don't consider. Now, that's what today's Bible passage is all about, and it comes from the book of Psalms, specifically chapter 19. Now, in this psalm, it describes God's laws or God's rules as being sweet. Now, sometimes we think of rules as being hard to follow or restricting the amount of fun we have, or even just not allowing us to have any fun, which we can think is sometimes true or even sometimes not true. And sometimes as kids growing up, we don't like to follow rules, but that gets us in trouble. And even sometimes as adults, we still don't like to follow rules, or we have trouble following rules. We think of rules as taking away opportunities to have fun. Now, some other rules that might be this are like running at a swimming pool or diving in the shallow end of a pool, or even riding our bike with a helmet. Those rules are in place to keep ourselves and others safe in case something happens, but sometimes it's really hard to follow those rules. I know for myself, I've never enjoyed wearing a helmet when I ride my bike, but as I've grown up and become older, I realize the importance of making sure I keep myself safe and keep myself protected in case something were to go wrong. So today's illustration talks about this, and I hope you guys can see it. And yeah, so our illustration says the commandments of God are sweeter also than honey and drippings of the honeycomb. Now it's a little weird, but yeah, the psalmist or the writer begins by describing the commandments or the rules and laws of God And he goes into a long, well, not really a long, but he goes into the section describing what they're like. And one of them is that these rules and that these laws are sweet. And the sweetness he compares them to is like honey. Now, I don't know if you've ever had honey just straight from the jar, but it is something that is very, very sweet. Sort of similar to like a syrup, maple syrup, or syrup we put on our pancakes and waffles if you decide to have those. On their own, they are very sweet and very good and delicious. Now, like I said earlier, it's kind of weird to think of rules and laws as being something sweet and delicious. Now, God's laws and God's rules keep everyone safe. And when everyone feels safe, we can enjoy life the way we are when we enjoy eating something sweet like candy or syrup or whatever our favorite sweet treat is. God's commandments are sweet because they give everyone a chance to live a sweet and good life. So yeah, two things that we don't normally think of going together actually end up working really well together and can teach us something about why God's laws are there, or God's rules are there, and why we follow them. So with that being said, I'm going to pray, and then you guys can get on with your day. And I'm going to go get my Skittles because I like them. All right, let's bow together and pray. Dear God, thank you for giving us rules to keep us safe and to help us live together with one another. Teach us to enjoy caring for each other by following your commandments and your rules and laws. Pray this in your name. Amen. All right, kids, take care.